Hello, my friends. Hope you're doing great. This is the second live of our live series on TikTok. If you're watching this video on YouTube or anywhere else, you can go to Visa Form on TikTok. Stay tuned and come to our live because we're gonna answer a lot of questions in these lives. We're gonna talk about life in Canada, how to immigrate to Canada, how to have a successful life, and how to be able to be a better immigrant. So thanks for all of you who registered to this live. And if you're new here, my name is Amir Kajavi, regulated Canadian immigration consultant from beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. And today we're gonna have a Q&A about work permits. We're gonna answer some questions. And also we're gonna have some of you to join me on the live so you can talk more and introduce yourself to me and our audience. So let me know, we're gonna give it some time so everybody joins the live, but in the meantime we have some polls that you can answer a few questions, and let me know where you're from in the comments. We also have a goal in place, like there is a fire. If you see on top, you can keep clicking on that fire and send me fire, because if you do that and if we reach our goal of today, which is 50 fires, I'm gonna unlock a course on our website, and this course will be free for everybody. So if you want, start sending me fire by end of this live. And today we're gonna discuss your questions. So let me see how many questions we do have. I have received a lot of questions in the inbox, but we cannot obviously answer one by one because we get so many messages, guys. The only way to contact us or contact me is through the website. The website is visaform.ca, and there's so many fraudsters out there. They copy our work, they copy our material, they made fake profile like visaform.ca or visaform.ca or new website. So none of those are associated with us. We only have one website, that is visaform.ca, and that is the only way, I repeat guys, that is the only way you connect with me or with our team. So we do not call you, we do not go to WhatsApp, like we don't have a Telegram or WhatsApp, something like that. All the sessions are through our website and on Google Meet, right? So make sure that to talk to myself personally on a video call if you want to give your application to us. I have no other account. There's so many fake accounts going and answering your comments. We noticed that they go to our comment, they impersonate us, they use the same photo with different name, like they add an underscore to our name but the same name. So make sure that you don't follow the fraudsters. Those are not us. We only have one website and everything has to go through our website, right? You can book a consultation on a website. You need to book a consultation. Without booking a consultation, I will not be able to serve you. But you can always join our lives, ask your question, or download the courses that we have on the website. Fair? Okay, send some fire. Like click here, send some fire. Let me see. We got people from Bahrain, from Cameroon, Nigeria. We got people, I got pre-arrival letter after PNP federal file. Okay, what is the question? That's good news for you. How can I ask, what about invitation letter, if it's fake or not? Okay, guys, if you have a job offer, if somebody offer you a job offer, the job offer always have the employer name on it. You can contact the employer directly. You need to be able to email or call the employer listed on the job offer and make sure that this is valid, this is legit. Most cases, if the employer didn't interview you, it could be a fake job offer. Like employers, there's only two ways that employers give you a job offer if it's legit. One, they interview you. If they don't interview you, and you need to make sure that somebody who is interviewing you is legit as well, right? That's hard to tell, because it could be a fake person interviewing you on behalf of a company. So first of all, the company information should be online, available on their website, on Google. So you need to talk to the employer and see if that job offer is legit. Most cases, even employee, they're not going to trust a random person from the other side of the world, right? So most cases, when these employers want to hire somebody from overseas, they use a licensed recruiter, guys. This is very important. You need to find a recruiter who helps you. And a recruiter will only help you if you go on an agreement with them. So make sure to understand this, because we have received a lot of inquiries, a lot of messages from people that local agencies offered us a job and we realized that was a fake job offer. Yes, if you do not work with a Canadian entity that has relationship with the employers, that can get you to talk to the employer, know you well, because nobody is going, I say it again, nobody is going to trust a random person from the other side of the world to bring them here and trust them to work. What if they come here and then do work? What if, because they are responsible, they're financially responsible, they're supposed to pay you, right? If you come to Canada, you're supposed to be a legit person as well. And the way that you prove you're legit is the relationship you make with the recruiter. You need to have a relationship with the recruiter. That recruiter knows you, you know them, and usually in most cases you will have to pay for their consulting fees, for the service fee, and they will have to verify your documents, work with you to prepare your documents. So it's not a very easy thing that, okay, let's this is job offer, let's go to Canada. No, this is not the way it works. If you're looking for job offer directly, there's so many job offers that you can use. If you're from certain countries, the idea of getting job offers is to get a work permit, right? From overseas. If you're in Canada, it's a totally different story. If you're in Canada, there are different, like, we have to see what source country you're coming from. If you're coming from certain countries right now, such as Pakistan, Iran, such as Ukraine, you would be able to get a work permit without leaving the country. So you can change your visitor visa to work permit. But it doesn't apply to all nationalities, right? For certain, but if you're from 36 countries, I have a video about it on TikTok, so you can watch that. If you're from 36 countries, you can become eligible for International Experience Program, which is IEC. For IEC, you can get a work permit, easy. You don't need a job offer, but you have to be below 30 years old. So there is different ways that you can get a work permit with job offer or without job offer. For without job offer, there are certain restrictions that I mentioned. Either it's IEC or either it's through a public policy. But if you are not from certain, you need a job offer, and that job offer means that you have to come here and work for a specific employer. So let me go back to the questions. We got someone from a bachelor degree in IT, graduate in 2010. What's the best way I can come to Canada? We need more information. Like, what about your work? Because 2010 is 13 years old. Like 13 years ago, you graduated. That means what have you been doing in 13 years, right? So we need to know what are you doing right now. One of the ways, if you mention you're an IT graduate, is that if you have a good profile, you can start an IT company in Canada they'll will give you a work permit to come to it. It's called PNP nominee program. You will have to be able to work and invest in Canada. That's one way if you can afford it. If I don't know your financial situation, a lot of people want to invest. A lot of people cannot invest. If you cannot invest, then you need to find an employer in IT. If you're good in IT, like this is another thing, very important, guys. A lot of you're not good at your job. Like if you are good at your job, that's when a Canadian employer is going to give you a job offer, right? Unless you want a low paid job or like high wage or low wage job in a remote area in north of Canada where it's rather colder and less population, that not everybody wants to go. So for those, we have a New Brunswick program right now that they will give you housing. Like there are a lot of companies that they give you housing, so you don't need a lot. Like you get housing, you get money, you can just go apply to that program on your own and get selected, right? We can also help you with that, but that's for people who are ready to sacrifice a low quality of life but go to the northern territories, which is colder. It's just the problem is cold. Like the quality of life is still good, right? There's good schools, there's good parks, there's good restaurants, shopping centers, everything is good. The only problem is the weather, right? So very important. And if you want me to answer your questions like that, you have to be more specific. Tell me about your education, tell me about your work experience, and tell me about your financial situation so I can have more information to answer you guys. Let me go through the questions. Keep sending us roses, keep sending us fire. Thank you for being here. I am from Philippines. I applied as an international student and I got approved in Calgary. Congratulations. If you are approved in Calgary, you can just go get your study permit and come to Canada. Once you're here, there's so many things that you will learn to improve your life and yourself. So congratulations. Says, without IELTS, is it possible to get a PR? So guys, very important. Even if you're born in United Kingdom, even if English is your first official language, if you have a PhD in English literature, if you want to get permanent residency, you need to do IELTS. Doesn't matter where you're from, what language do you speak, and whatever you do. If you want to become a permanent resident, I'm not talking about visitor visa or work permit. For work permit, for some program, you don't need IELTS. But if you want to become permanent resident, right? Permanent resident, you have to go through one of the programs to become eligible for permanent. Any program that you go through to become permanent resident needs IELTS or CELPIP, needs a official language test based on CLB, which is Canadian Language Benchmark, and the only two that are accepted right now is IELTS and CELPIP. So don't come back and tell us, do I need IELTS for PR? Of course you need IELTS for PR. Even if you're born in the United States and spoke English all your life, if you want to get the PR, you need IELTS, right? So for PR, you need IELTS. But for work permit, most cases you don't. Okay, next question. You're asking about country specific. There are videos about that. You can go watch all the videos. I spoke about different countries. But if you are not fall into the categories of the countries that we spoke, generally you can come to Canada from any country. So it doesn't matter where you're from. You have to be qualified. Canada is going to accept only qualified people. Very important. If you're qualified, Canada wants you. If you're not qualified, sorry. So qualification. What is a qualification? I'll tell you short what is a qualification. Either you're very skilled at what you do, you have a master's degree or PhD, you're very good with IELTS and you have years of experience, then that's good. You're skillful, you can go to express entry, you can get selected, you can come to Canada and live and work. The second option is that you're very good at what you do, but you don't have IELTS or you're not too young, you're like, then you need a job offer. You need to convince an employer that you're good in what you do. Hey, employer, I'm very good at this. Okay, convince them you're very good. And you have to be actually, like most cases, it's in IT industry, right? Because that's where they need people. Okay, in that case, you get a job offer, boom, you come to Canada work. The other way is that there is an opportunity. There are some employers in remote areas that need a lot of people. Like they want to bring 100 people from India, 50 people from East Africa, another 200 people. So in those cases, when they want to mass hire, if you are low wage or your skill set is not very specialized, you might get a chance, but you need to know a recruiter. You need to have relationship or connection with an organization who recruit for this position, then boom, you get a job offer. In agriculture, there's seasonal programs in agriculture that you want to get to Canada. These farms and they need a lot of people, right? They cannot find it here. It's hard for them to find and take them to remote places. They'll take it from overseas. You have to be ready. You have to have a profile. You have to have a relationship with these recruiters. So when the time comes, they give you a job offer, everybody comes. So the other way to come to Canada is that you have money and a skill. Okay, you want to invest, you want to create something, you want to create a business. In most cases, you already done that in your country. If you already made a business in your country and you're successful, chances are you can become successful in Canada. So Canada will give you a job offer. Welcome to Canada, make a business here. You have 2 years. 2 years, make a business. If you're successful, okay, I made a business, I invested 100,000 in my business. Okay, sir, this is your PR. Thank you for contribution to Canada economy. So you have to know who you are, right? If you're good, you always can find a way to come to Canada and you always can become successful. If you're not good, it's really hard, guys. Like Canada is a very competitive country. Everybody come from different parts of the world and they are the goods of this country. Like they are the elite of every country that went through the process of immigration. Either it was a study or they got a scholarship or they were able to pay high tuition to come to this Canada, to this country, or they were able to get a job offer. Good people came to Canada. That means it's competitive, even for finding a job here, keeping your job here, surviving, paying your rent, and everything here is expensive and it's competitive. So if you're not good, then work on yourself. If you're good, welcome to Canada. Okay, I'm coming with a student visa. How long will it take for my kids to join me? I have no spouse. Okay, if you get a study permit, from the moment you apply for your study permit, you can start the application for your kids to accompany you if they are under 22 years old. So you can apply for them right away. If you have a study permit, apply for them right away. They have to be under 22 years old to be dependent on you, right? So my finances are not enough. I explained about that. If you want to come to Canada, I explained this in the other video, you need to have settlement fund, guys. Settlement fund assures that you don't go homeless. You need to show at least $14,000 as the settlement fund, regardless of the program that you apply to come to Canada. Unless you're coming on a visitor visa, which you can show less money, but still you need to have money because Canada is expensive. Okay, ask me good question, guys. Nurses, how about nurses? Nurses have there are different programs for nurses. And again, for nurses, the best way is to try the PNP, like the provincial nominee programs. But you have to have all of your documents verified and ready. If you have some of them verified, get the IELTS. That's the most important part. You need to have an IELTS. You need to have all of your documents verified. And you need to have a profile. You need to start your profile with provincial nominee program. You can have different profiles for different provinces, but you need to pay for them, obviously. But try with British Columbia PMP. Try with Ontario PMP. So these are these are your chances to get elected. Also, you can find a recruiter, which you go to visaform.ca. Soon we're gonna introduce some recruiter to you, so you can talk to recruiters and have your profile with them, and they will help you with the job offers and job settlements, right? So this is not a service that we provide. Like, you have to work with a licensed Canadian recruiter. The job of recruiters is that to match your profile with companies that are in need of workers. Okay, lots of students asking how to come to Canada on a study visa. This live is about work permit. We're gonna have another live for students and how to come here on study. So stay tuned for that. If I enter Canada, can I apply to a study permit? Yes, if you're in Canada, like before you had to exit Canada, but now you don't need to exit Canada. If you're in Canada, you need to register to a college, get an admission, and then apply to study permit, and you get a study permit to stay and study in Canada. Okay, visitor visa. I have a video about visitor visa, guys. You need to show some documentation to make a stronger application. You can always apply to visitor visa, but there is a chance, right? The better the application you submit, the more complete application you submit, the better chance you have to get a visitor visa. So make sure you submit a complete application and make sure that show that you're going back to your country at the end of your stay, which I explained in one of my videos on how to do that, what kind of documentation you should put in your application. Can a J1 visa holder of USA Visa Canada get working visa there? So your status in US does not matter. Like, you have to go through the procedure of Canadian visa system if you want to get any visa. So it depends on your country of origin. Like, what is your nationality if you want to come to Canada? Your nationality matters for coming to Canada. If you come to Canada, you need to, if your nationality allows traveling without a visa, you can come to Canada on a tourist visa, but you need to find an employer to give you a job offer to get the work permit. Otherwise, you need to apply for a visitor visa from USA, which most probably you can get if you're qualified, and then you can come and find an employer in Canada. Truck driver, I'm looking for a job. Your best bet if you're a truck driver and looking for a job is recruiter. You cannot easily go to talk to employers and get a job if you're a truck driver. Most of these jobs are handled by licensed recruiters, which help these trucking companies bring people from overseas. So you need to find a recruiter. You need to build a relationship recruiter. And these recruiters provide a service to you, right? And their service would be to find you a job. So that's typically it. Unless you, like guys, if you want to find a job in Canada, you can reach directly to the employers. But those employers want very skilled people. If your job is not very skilled, then it's not easy to connect to the employer yourself. You need to have someone as a recruiter to help you. I explained this before. If you want, like, go to visaforb.ca and stay tuned. We'll announce, like, we'll email you guys. Check your emails. We'll send a lot of emails about the opportunities, and we bring a lot of recruiters. We bring a lot of organizations and introduce them so you can leverage them. How long will it take to approve visa after biometric? That it depends on the country of your origin. And I have a video about this. Go to TikTok, watch the videos. That video I explain how you can go and check the processing time based on the country of your origin and the application that you submitted. So everything is on cic.gc.ca. You need to check the processing time yourself on that website. And it's very easy to do. It's a few clicks. Okay. Another question. Gentleman said, can you study at the same time work in Canada? Of course. You can study in Canada at the same time you can work, but that could be limited because when you study, you don't have much time to work, but you do get a work permit in Canada while you study, so you can work and cover some of your costs. Okay, another question Mary asked about how long does it take for approval a student visa? Again, for any approval from visa, you can go to the processing time section on the CIC. You click about your you pick your country of origin, you pick the application. I will give you exact time that it's taking because that changes all the time. You need to check government website for any processing time. Nobody is able to give you exact timing except the government website. So to go to government website and check your processing. There is a video on my TikTok profile. Go find that video and learn on how to check the processing time. But if you're asking about when your admission comes, like the approval letter from the university comes, that's a different story. That depends on the that depends on the educational institution or the college or university you're applying to. That depends on that, right? Okay, so I see a lot of question about different jobs like automotive engineer. When we talk about automotive engineer, it depends on what kind of engineer you are, right? How many years of experience? In what detail? There is so many auto companies in Canada, and if you you need to know where are you in the hierarchy of the, let's say if you want to get hired in one of these companies, where are you located in the hierarchy? If you are an entry level, it's really hard. Like a lot of people here already in Canada, they can go to this entry level. But if you're a senior manager or somebody with a lot of experience, with a lot of technical knowledge, then you got a chance, right? You have to contact those employers and introduce yourself because they might lack a lot of senior managers with a lot of technical knowledge, but entry-level positions, there's so many people. So it depends. It depends on your profile a lot when you apply to jobs. Home care jobs, home care jobs, again, this is very similar to trucking industry. You need to have a recruiter to find you a job, right? It's not easy to get these jobs on your own. You need to have somebody who has a good relationship with the employer to find you a job, but they need to know you, right? Again, nobody is going to trust a random person from other side of the world unless you are a verified client of theirs. You are verified by them, you're in contact with them, you have right paperwork and application. So make sure you have all that because immigration is not easy and immigration requires a lot of preparation. Okay. Do you have job offering now? No, we cannot offer any job, guys. But we do have a lot of recruiters in our network. They have openings. So as long as you are on our website, register your email on our website. If they have any announcement, we will email it to you. We will email announcement on behalf of the licensed Canadian recruiter to our network, so you can talk to them. Okay. I got refusal 4 days after biometric submission. Was the application treated? Yes. Usually when you get refusal so fast, most cases your application was incomplete. If your application is incomplete and it depends of the completion as well. Like if it's 90% incomplete, then you get rejected. If it's 10% incomplete, you might be asked for providing more information. So looks like your application was very weak at the time of the submission. Okay, so guys, I think we are at the 30 minutes. So we are over the time allowed for this meeting, and we have a lot more questions to answer. I will pick 2 more questions and then we will leave it to the next meeting. Thanks for the 300 people joining this live. I appreciate all of you. Make sure to stay tuned. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, guys. There is a link on my bio. You can subscribe to YouTube. We're gonna have a lot more content on YouTube, educational content on YouTube and website. TikTok is more for like short form content that we abstract all these complicated information in 1 minute for you. But if you go to YouTube, we're gonna soon have a lot of bigger content and more comprehensive content for you to consume. So make sure to click on the link in the bio and subscribe to our channel. And okay, let me pick 2 more questions. Can I hire your company to help get a job and full processing? So the first step, if you want to hire a company, guys, the first step is that you book a consultation, because if we don't know you, we cannot accept your application. If we get to know you, and again, if you cannot book a consultation, you can always attend our live and webinars, but we don't have time for everybody. Fortunately, we get thousands of messages per day and emails, but unfortunately, we cannot answer all of them. The only way for us to be able to serve you is that you go through the process. And the process is to book a consultation first. Once you do that, we'll talk to you, we evaluate your application, and based on your application, either we accept your application if you're qualified, or if we cannot help you, or there's any help that our partner company can help, we will refer you to our partner company. For example, a recruiter company will help you with those. So it is very important that we know you and we know your application, because if you're not qualified and we don't see the approval coming out of the visa application, we're not going to accept your application, guys. It's gonna be lose-lose for both. We are looking for win-win situations. Win-win situation means that you are qualified, we can accept your application, we can get you a visa, work permit, PR, you can come to Canada and become successful and give back to the community. So that's the whole plan of this. Also, the partner companies that work with us, we have a lot of companies like real estate company that help you find housing, mortgage companies that help you find investment for your next project in Canada, or buy a house when you come here. You need services, a lot of other services, schools, so for your kids. So we have in our network, we have a lot of connections with different organizations or recruiters as well that we can direct you to the right people if need be. So very important, guys, if you want to work with us. I'm a software developer. How can I get a work permit and relocate? Okay, if you're a software developer, I recommend you start reaching out to companies in Canada yourself, because a lot of companies are in need of software developer, and you will get a lot of interviews for sure. If you're a good software developer, you just need a good resume, a good cover letter, and probably software developers have GitHub profile. So if you have a good GitHub profile, you can get a lot of interviews. Then it comes down to your negotiation skills. How can you convince these employers that you're good and give you a job offer? But we have had so many software developers that were able to secure a job in Canada. Once you have once you find an employer that is willing to invest in you or send you a job offer, contact us. We can help you with all the paperwork. And we can also help that employer if they want to issue an LMIA for you or not, we can help them as well. So it's your job to find the software developer position in Canada, which is very high demand. So, and if you're a software developer, you're probably very hands-on with computer and IT, so you have a big chance there. Okay, thank you everyone. I think we answered more than 30 questions in our 40 minutes live. Thank you everyone for attending. Hope you found this useful. Comment below if you like this like this live, and help us to do more of these. Stay tuned. We'll come back soon with more lives and different topics. And thank you so much. Take care. Talk soon.